Good morning. Peace and blessings. I'm the Moon Mama. Happy Thursday. Well, let me say that we are in some very, very, very sketchy astrological weather. Say hello. Say hi, Mott. Say hi. Hello. Some very sketchy astrological weather. Hey, you don't want to stay? Didn't want to stay. And what I mean when I say that, so the thing that I'm clear about with astrology is that you either use the energy or the energy uses you. It's your choice. You have it or it has you. And if you are intentional, if you are tracking yourself, if you have built the muscle of self-awareness, it's like being able to just be in the flow and to feel where there's tightenings, to feel where there's openings, and trust it and go with it. And for me, that requires that I be very connected to my higher self, to the divine that is within me, to God. So I pray, I meditate, I do rituals so that I'm listening, so that I'm aware. I follow the astrology, and then I track what's going on out in the world to see how the astrology is playing out in the world. And it never fails. I don't know the exact things, but I can see contractions. I can see voids. I can see it in people's lives, and I can see it and feel it in my own life. So because we're moving through sketchy astrological weather and we are in the eclipse, I encourage you to stay prayerful, stay contemplative, develop your self-awareness, ask questions. Ma'at, ask questions. Of yourself. Ask questions of yourself. So today is Thursday. Thursday is a Jupiter day, and the moon is in Cancer, and Jupiter's in Capricorn. So we're in this oppositional kind of day. So there's a lot of feelings, a lot of emotion, a lot of tension. So Jupiter is the planet that governs expansion, blessings, luck. But in Capricorn, it's at its detriment, right? So Jupiter doesn't like Capricorn because Capricorn is about work and effort and discipline and time put in, karma, right? And Jupiter is like the opposite of all of that. Jupiter is like blessings and faith and all of those sort of things. Oftentimes faith and karma, which is cause and effect, can work out together, so we can focus on that. And Jupiter is at the 26th degree of Jupiter's at the 26th degree of Capricorn, and the 26th degree is silence. It's the energy of going within and knowing and remembering who you are. It is only in the silence. It is only when we are capable of, maybe you're not capable of shutting off your mind. Maybe you're not. Like, I'm not really capable of shutting off my mind. I can reach the highest frequency where I know that, where I can reach the space of all is well, but my mind still goes. But that is what silence will offer you to do. If you turn off your television, your radio, put down your smartphone, tell your kids to leave you alone, tell your spouse that you need some time, go out in nature and just listen to yourself, or just be with yourself. Maybe you don't listen to yourself. Maybe you don't believe the thoughts that you think. That's an option always. But you get to just be with yourself, because it is in the being with yourself that you invite spirit to remind you of who you are, to remind you of the grace, to remind you of the possibilities that are available to us at this time, which are plentiful. Even though it feels like the world is shutting down and saying nothing is available, the truth of the matter, the astrology is completely open and everything is available. So the only way you're going to source that is by being divinely directed, and silence is that. And Jupiter in Capricorn says, do you have faith in yourself? And the reason that that is the case is because Pluto has gone through Capricorn and destroyed it. So imagine you move into a city where everything has been demolished, and it will be up to you to build a new system, one that will work for you, and you get to start from scratch. So it's really good news. So this is about you listening to yourself and building your faith in yourself. In the opposite energy, Capricorn is our external structure. So we're going to be having the faith in ourselves to build new external structures. And then Cancer is our internal structures, our internal reality. And that's where the moon is today at 18 degrees. And Cancer is the internal self. It's how you nurture yourself, how you care for yourself, how you nurture and care for others. But really right now, this is about self-preservation is our greatest strength, because everything that's going on in the world, all the things that are coming undone, all of the collapsing agreements, collapsing karmic bonds, collapsing relationships. So this is about really giving ourselves what we need: self-care, self-preservation. And so the moon at the 18th degree is this opportunity for focus. It's when we are in chaos. Yesterday I talked a little bit about it. Chaos says that order is near. Chaos is the beginning of order. And so you want to focus internally, right? Meaning keeping your attention on you, keeping your attention focused on who and what you are and what you're doing, and not on anything externally. So, how are you feeling? What do you need? Why are you thinking these thoughts? What is it that you feel called to? What do you feel joyful in? All of it is about you being completely focused on yourself. And in this is this complements that Jupiter energy, right? Even though Jupiter is with Saturn and Pluto right now, which means that there's a lot that's coming undone, right? Which is good, right? But it's still this opportunity to have the faith in yourself. And remember, I said faith is an actual function. Faith is not some sort of fantasy kind of thing. Faith is a faculty like seeing or hearing. So when you absolutely believe, and the thing that for me, what I believe in, I believe that there is a force greater than me that has my well-being in mind, and that force is within me. So if I ask and I wait and I listen, I will be directed and guided. Yesterday, I realized that the video was cut off as I was talking about the information that I received from my ancestors. And I actually received this information several months ago in a plant medicine ceremony. And the information that I received was that we, as people in Black bodies, descendants of captives, we are misrepresenting our ancestors by telling stories that they were oppressed, that the oppression didn't have a real value. It's not wrong to understand that there was oppression. It's not wrong to understand that there was captivity and slavery and torture and all that sort of stuff. What we're doing incorrectly is not understanding the value of those things. One of the things that is very significant to understand here on this planet and Earth is that the universe uses everything. The universe doesn't throw anything away. And if you just watch nature, go spend time in nature. Nature uses everything for life, for death, for the cycles of life. So even torture and oppression and slavery, all of those are part of energetic systems, and those systems build power is what they do. They build discipline. They build a force within you. So the fact that we tell a half story, that they were oppressed and that they were harmed and that all of these wrong things were done, without telling that the result is it meant that we were very capable, that we were strong, that we were the only ones who could build this reality, that we had really strong nervous systems, and really, when the white people came and the Native Americans were here, they brought diseases, and those diseases wiped out many of the tribes of the Native Americans. But that didn't happen to us because we, as Africans, we have, in Africa, they have so many viruses in the biology that the people there are tougher, they are stronger, they have a greater fortitude. And so that is why we were able to come here and survive and do all the things that we did. The challenge with the West is that the West has The West has excluded spirit from its systems, from its ways of being. It has excluded humanity. It has excluded divinity. It has excluded nature. So because of it, the systems are coming undone because nature always wins. Nature always wins, right? So because the systems don't include nature, they are running out of energy because they are not nature. Only nature refurbishes and replenishes and all that sort of stuff. So it is important for us as Black people to really start to remember who we are. And one of the ways for us to do that is to understand the experience of our ancestors who were first here in a way that is accurate. Yes, there was oppression. Yes, there was slavery. Yes, there was brutality. Yes, there was death. And all of those are energetic functions that make more power, that make more magic, that create alchemy. And so because of it, we are extraordinarily powerful people. And so we don't want to give our energy back to a system that's dying. We want to begin to give our energy to a new way of being through our thoughts, first and foremost, because this is about consciousness. So I hear a lot of people talking about the conjunction that's coming and talking about the world and how they're attempting to lock down and shut us out. But here's the thing, consciousness goes beyond the physical world reality. Consciousness is not just this body. Consciousness is everything, right? The plants, the animals, all things are within consciousness. So even if we are in our homes separate from one another, consciousness brings us together anyway. Whether we have phones, whether we have any of that, consciousness is alive. So the important thing to begin to do right now is to remember who you are, remember your relationship with consciousness, make connections that make your relationship with consciousness tangible, like understanding the symbols of the butterflies and the birds and all of those kinds of things, because that stuff cannot be squelched. That stuff cannot be oppressed. Consciousness is alive, and there's nothing that the Western system can do to stop consciousness, because the Western system did not include consciousness in its system. So that is why it's dying. So now is the time more than ever as Black people who are descendants of captives to tap into consciousness. We halfway do it with this religious Christianity, but we have to know that the consciousness is within us and not external in Jesus Christ. It's internal within the divinity within us. We are the Christ consciousness. We are the embodiment of Jesus Christ. We are the second coming of Christ. And how do you know that? Because of all the torture and death and all of that we have endured, and yet we are still reborn anew through the spirit of the universe of consciousness. So with that, I am the Moon Mama. Have a wonderful day today. Make sure you use this energy to focus internally and build the faith within you to know that you are connected to Source primarily, above and beyond anything else. All right, bye-bye.